No plan, no strategy, no message. That's a quote. That's how a Democratic lawmaker was describing the Democratic Senate vote with Republicans this weekend to fund the government with a Republican funding bill, averting a government shutdown. But there was virtually no fight and nothing achieved for Democratic priorities. This comes as our brand new CNN poll this morning shows that the Democratic Party's favorability is at an all-time low in this CNN poll. It's just 29% approval. That's a 20-point drop since 2021. Joining us now is a Congresswoman from Texas, Jasmine Crockett. Congresswoman, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you squeezing us in before you go to church. This has been a rough 72 hours for Democrats. I want to play some of what Democratic Senate Leader Schumer told me on The Lead on Friday about his decision to vote with the Republicans to fund the government. Take a listen.
A government shutdown gives Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Doge almost complete power as to what to close down because they can decide what is an essential service. If they determine that SNAP, kids shouldn't get food, is not essential, they can just cut it out summarily. They could fire half the workers in the federal government. It would have been a far worse consequence.
So he's saying that the path that House Democrats wanted would have presented a worse consequence. Is he wrong?
He's absolutely wrong. I mean, look at the reality of the votes, right? I understand that the American people are frustrated. Please believe many of us did not sleep because we were calling and trying to impress upon the senators the importance of pushing back in this moment. And as you saw, we had all but one Democrat in the House that voted for this. So that's 212 Democrats in the House. And then you had the vast majority of senators vote for it or vote against it as well. And so the idea that Chuck Schumer is the only one that's got a brain in the room and the only one that can think through all of the pros and cons is absolutely ridiculous. And Jake, you and I both know that this administration could care less about whether or not they violate the law. We know that we've had to rely heavily upon the courts. And I want to say, as you're talking about the polling on my party, I want to say that it is the Democratic attorney generals and some governors that are standing up against this administration and bringing those lawsuits and winning every single time. They are losing in court. Could we do a better job of making sure that the American people know that we are winning in the courts? We probably could. But at the end of the day, it's still Democrats that are winning for the American people.
Some progressive groups are calling for new leadership in the Senate for Democrats. Even House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries, your leader, he was asked if he supports Schumer as leader of the Senate Democrats, and he said, next question. Do you think Senate Democrats should replace Chuck Schumer?
I think Senate Democrats have to sit down and take a look and decide whether or not Chuck Schumer is the one to lead in this moment.
You're close with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York. Some of your fellow House Democrats say, and not just progressives, by the way, we've heard that moderates have said this too, that they're ready to support her to challenge Chuck Schumer in a Democratic primary. Would you get behind that?
That's 4 years from now. If you were asking me at least in 2 years, then I would have an absolute answer. But I can tell you that there are a lot of people that are watching his leadership in this moment. This is the moment. We don't even know what elections will look like in 4 years if we will have elections. And so I definitely think that younger, fresher leadership may be something that many of us, not just depending on what part of the spectrum you're on, but many Americans may be looking for, especially in the state of New York.
How to take on the...
Good morning, YouTube, and happy Wednesday. So today I want to bring to you a video with my girl, Jasmine Crockett. She was on Jake Tapper's show. Jake Tapper is a CNN host. And they were basically talking about the state of the Democratic Party. They were talking about Chuck Schumer agreeing to the continual resolution. They were talking about who needs to be in charge of the Democratic Party, what messaging needs to be kind of promoted and pushed forward. So just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, I think I talked about it before. I'm sure I did. I talked about it before. So regarding the continual resolution that the Republicans put up and the Democrats, of course, had to vote on, you have Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Jasmine Crockett, kind of saying that they didn't want to support the CR, the continuing resolution, and then Chuck Schumer agreed to it in the Senate. And of course, Chuck Schumer is the minority leader in the Senate, and so he agreed to the continuing resolution. A lot of people are speculating that the continuing resolution is going to make it easier to gut Medicaid, not gut completely, but of course take a lot of money and resources from Medicaid, take a lot of money and resources from it's Medicaid that they're intending to cut. They have, they're projecting that there's a lot of money for like deportation, like mass deportation. Side note, you guys see that Trump basically defied a judge's order. The judge basically said that he has to bring those people back. So I'm going to do a story on that because I kind of want to like do more research. But you have Trump's border czar, I think his name is Tom Cotton, I believe. But I'm going to get his name because I'm going to actually do a full video regarding that. But the border czar basically is defying judges' orders. He said on Fox he doesn't care what the left wants. He don't care about what the Democrats want. He don't care about what judges are basically saying, because he's citing some law or statute that was like from 1738 or something like that, saying that during wartime that you can use these measures, but we're not in war. So it's all a mess, and I kind of want to do more research on it so I can make sure I have my facts together. So I'm going to do a separate video regarding that. But the Democrats, basically, the more progressive Democrats, basically didn't want to kind of agree to this bill, and it seems like Chuck Schumer caved. I watched a little bit of Chuck Schumer was on The View yesterday. I used to do commentary regarding The View. I don't anymore because to me they're changing, and I don't like that they're being more. I don't know. It seems as if everybody's walking on eggshells. Everybody is scared to just like truly be unapologetically critical of Donald Trump. And so I find The View it's not the same. To me, it's changing a lot. However, Sonny did ask Chuck Schumer basically like, how could you cave? Like, it's imperative that the Democrats have an opposition party, not a resistance party. A resistance party is more passive, more still trying to kind of work with the other side. Sonny keeps saying that she believes that the Democrats is trying to play by a rule book when the Republicans have like thrown the rule book out. They have absolutely no interest in working with the Democrats or kind of adhering to like old political playbook kind of politics. They have no interest in doing that. And so Sonny believes, like I believe, there needs to be more of an opposition party. I think the part that I differ just a little bit is I want an opposition party. I want the Democrats to grow some balls and fight back. However, I don't want it to be at the expense of not getting anything done. That's the part that I kind of break with that messaging just a little bit. I want them to fight. I want them to be an opposition party. I want them to fight back politically, of course, like not anything crazy, but I want them to fight back. I want them to be an opposition party. I want them to advocate and fight for their constituents, because Democrats are extremely unhappy right now. And not AOC, Jasmine Crockett talked about this with Jake Tapper as well. The Congress, I believe the Democrats in Congress has a 29% approval rating. So Democrats are very, very unhappy with their leadership. And so you know that the Democratic Party, like their base, us, want them to fight back, want them to kind of Trump is the whole thing, and I agree with Sonny completely, is Trump has absolutely no desire to play by the rules. It's his way or the highway. And the Republicans are going to do whatever he wants. They're not going to push back on him. They're not going to resist him. It doesn't matter. Whatever he wants, they're going to do, because that's a cultist personality party at this point. So it's imperative for the Democrats to at least fight, at least have some good messaging. I had a video, and I'm kind of laughing to myself because I'm going to tell you guys this. I had a video about, it was first titled, because I was so pissed, it was first titled, "Is it time to leave the Democratic Party?" And I looked at my analytics, and within like 5 minutes, I lost a subscriber, which it's like, it's fine. For me, it's important to build my squad, people who are going to support me even if we disagree, because if I were to meet you in real life, we're not going to agree on everything, and that's totally fine. But what my page is about is loving Black people, supporting Black people, advocating for Black people, and getting change in our community. And so if people are not completely in line with that, I'm okay with them not being on this channel. So it's like, it's weird because I am not 100% beholden to anything but God and my family. If I want the Democratic Party to work, I've always voted for Democrats. I've always been a Democrat. My family's majority Democrat. So that's the party that I support. But right now, they're on some bullshit. Right now, they're not doing, like, because how is it difficult to message against a convicted felon? How are they falling apart? How are they looking so crazy right now? On the other side, you have Donald Trump, a convicted felon. His cabinet is full of Kristi Noem, the dog-killing lady, Marco Rubio, who have changed all of his opinions and his ideologies from when he was in Congress, and from when he was in the Senate until now. You got so much. Donald Trump is fucking giving big jobs to Elon Musk and foxholes. It's a shit show over there. It's a mess over there. How can the Democrats not message against that? That's the reason why it's so frustrating. How is it difficult to message against what's going on the Republican side? It's a cult, a fucking cult over there. You got Donald Trump doing whatever he wants, being lawless, defying judges. Like, you got Elon Musk running amok, firing federal workers. You got a whole bunch of bullshit over there. How is it difficult to message against that? And so even though I am a Democrat, even though I caucus with the Democrats all the time, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, I'm going to be critical. So if a person don't like that, God bless, baby, okay, go, okay. Because I'm going to always be, I'm not for sale. I have a job. I'm going to work in a minute. I'm not for sale. I'm not going to get on this camera, get on this platform, get on my channel and say anything I do not 100% believe in. So I'm not going to fall in line with the Democrats. I'm not going to go with every single thing that they're doing, because right now, as a person who've always voted for them, they are extremely disappointed and they pissing me off. So there's that. But back to Jasmine Crockett and Jake Tapper. So basically, that's what they were talking about. They were talking about how unpopular the Democrats are. They were talking about who needs to be the kind of leaders. I'm more progressive, so I'm more in the camp of the AOC and Jasmine Crockett, especially from a communication perspective. Those girls, they unapologetically. They are unapologetically going to say what they need to say, present their opinions and their ideologies unapologetically. And you have Chuck Schumer, you have like the old guard more trying to play. They want to, it's almost like they want to play ball with Donald Trump. And he do not care about, first of all, he don't have to worry about being reelected. So he's going to do whatever he wants. He's not going to compromise. He's not going to sit at the table. It's going to be his way or the highway. You see what his messaging was regarding Chuck Schumer basically voting to him. Chuck came to his senses, or Chuck sided with the Republicans, and I'm sure his party is going to be very happy. Donald Trump knows his party is not going to be happy, but that's what makes Donald Trump happy. The fact that he knows that Chuck Schumer party is not going to be happy with Chuck Schumer. So him be like, it's just, he was so patronizing. And that's an indication of him not wanting to compromise or work with the Democrats. Either the Democrats do whatever he wants, or he's not going to work with them at all. So I'm not going to advocate that and celebrate that. And if people don't like that, oh well. So there's that. So I just kind of wanted to, Jasmine, to me, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Jamie Raskin, those are the voices. Those are the people that's going to go out there and fight. Chuck Schumer don't want to fight. He said on The View, of course I want to fight. You don't want to fight, Chuck. You want to roll over. Because I don't know if you're afraid of Donald Trump, or I don't know if you're secretively supporting him. I don't know what the case is, but you're not fighting. You're rolling over. It's very obvious. I think the percentage of people who of the Democratic base that want them to be an opposition party is like high 70%, like 76%. Democrats, your base do not want you to just be a resistant. Resistant is more passive. They're saying opposition. They're saying fight back. politically, of course, like I said, because you got to be clear on not Facebook, on YouTube. They want you to politically fight back, politically throw a punch, politically get in there and like go toe-to-toe with him. Go toe-to-toe with Donald Trump. That's what the Democratic base want. That's not what Chuck Schumer did. And Jasmine Crockett spoke against it. AOC spoke against it. Nancy Pelosi spoke against them. So that's not what your base want, Chuck. Your base do not want you to compromise and roll over and play dead for Donald Trump. That's not what your base want. Your base want you to fight. And that's what Jasmine Crockett was talking about on Jake Tapper. So I'm going to put the clip in the very beginning of the video, so you guys should have already seen the clip. And I just kind of wanted, because every time I see Jasmine talk, I'm like, she just be spot on. Every time she hit the mark, every time. And so I wanted to bring this clip to you guys. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. More than likely, I'm going to do the video. I don't know if I'm going to put the video up regarding this whole thing with Trump defying the judge's orders and him taking the prisoners out of America and the judge ordering him to bring them back. I have to do more research so I can make sure I know every single thing, you know, I'm talking about or whatever. So I don't know if I'm going to do that video today or tomorrow, but I am going to do that video. But I wanted to bring you guys this video regarding Jasmine Crockett. I hope you guys have a phenomenal day. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.